Welcome, welcome, welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. This is Wendy Reese with Whole Being Inc. And the topic today is, are you a rooted gypsy? And I'm pretty excited about this because it really, for me, solidified on a recent trip that I took. And I'm excited to share with you guys and see what you think of it. So let's start by coming into a grounded and centered place. Just if you're in a place where you can close your eyes and begin to deepen your breath, I invite you to do that, just breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth and noticing how that feels, noticing how your body feels, and noticing what emotions are in your body this fine morning or night, depending on where you're at. Breathing in, breathing out, being aware of the sensations and the feelings that exist there. And I'm watching the snow drift down from the sky, swirling and drifting and swirling and falling and slow, fast. Some flakes are big and some are small. Some are moving very slow and some fast. And at any moment, they change their speed. It's just a hustle and a bustle and a lingering all at the same time. And that same duality can exist within us. There's space for all of it. So I just invite you to continue to notice how you feel in your body and be present to that as I continue. Gypsies by nature are nomads. They are intuitive and crafty. They are free spirits. And yet we live in a culture that values roots. I don't know that this is still true for the youngest generations, but I know for many of us, we were taught to settle down and get a job, make money, buy a home, raise a family, and then retire. Then you could wander all you want. But when I was in Phoenix recently, we were driving on I-10 and there was this big billboard that said, "Silver Alert." I said, "Silver Alert? What the heck is a silver alert?" And my friends told me they're doing that now when a senior wanders off or becomes missing. So even once you retire, you can't wander without somebody knowing where you are and if you're okay. There's that need to control and be rooted. There are plenty of people who have managed to avert status quo. Some of them have even been really successful. I think of Tim Ferriss and the 4-Hour Work Week. While I doubt he only works 4 hours, he certainly has been able to meet his wanderlust. Chris Gillibo is another one. Had the pleasure of interviewing him about a year ago and talking to him about how he's able to go out into the world and then come back to his home and his family. Helen Mirren once said, "I have a gypsy sense of adventure. I don't think I've slept in the same bed for more than 3 or 4 months in my whole life. I am always planting vegetables that I will never get to eat and flowers that I will never see flower. I've always moved around the world." And I'm curious, how many watching this are rooted gypsies? Just want to take a moment. I know we don't have a lot of people viewing at this moment. Lux Hot Tub says, "Love your view, thank you." Lux, are you digging it? Are you feeling that rooted gypsy mentality that I'm talking about? I hear you. I'm drinking out of my Can't Stop the Waves, but you can learn how to surf mug today, and that's kind of ties into what we're talking about a bit. So going back to that rooted gypsy spirit, Alice Walker writes, I have fallen in love with the imagination. And if you fall in love with the imagination, you understand that it is a free spirit. It will go anywhere and it can do anything. I really want you to let that sink in just a little bit. The imagination that you can go anywhere and do anything in your imagination. I'd say you could be anyone you wanted to be, including your truest self. And Francis Picabia said, a free spirit takes liberties, even with liberty itself. So another curiosity, and I'd love for you guys to write in the comments, what liberty is your imagination and free-spirited nature taking with liberties in your heart and soul? And please, let's keep this G-rated. It's still early in the morning. What is that wild dream that you have that scares the crap out of you? What would you love to do, but you're convinced everyone would think you're nuts? Right here, right now, in the comments, in this safe space, I dare you to speak it out loud. What is your wildest dream? Just taking a second. And I'm only doing the comments this morning just because we have a real issue with people who like to call in and show us body parts that are inappropriate to families viewing this show, if you know what I'm saying. It's just not that kind of show. That is not the whole being that I want to see of you. So going back to that original question, I'm a believer that most of us are free spirits trapped in expectations. And my challenge to you is to let that spirit direct you a little bit more. Just start with 1%. Work your way up to 10% and see what happens. You can hold space for roots and freedoms. They can coexist. But what you resist will persist. And that persistence is always going to make you suffer. It's going to wear you down. You're attached to an idea or belief that isn't yours, and you've embraced it in order to feel safe, accepted, and loved. Screw that. Right here, right now, figure out if there is acceptance, safety, and love in your wildest dreams. I bet there is. I want to close with a quote from Steve Jobs. Probably everyone's heard this, though it's definitely worth repeating. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. So I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you for opening up your hearts and exploring these places. I invite you to leave me some comments on @WholeBeingInc, or you can follow this email, check out the website, wholebeinginc.com. Infinite love and gratitude. Till next time, namaste.